helicopter of survivors is struck somewhere near Namor. In Wakanda, Ramonda and Shuri go to the water and grieve the year since T'Challa's passing. They consume their burial service pieces of clothing to imply the finish of the grieving time frame, in spite of Shuri not being totally prepared for this. Namor then shows up, traversing the boundary by going under the water. He uncovers to them the presence of Talokan and believes their assistance should prevent outsiders from taking vibranium. He likewise makes sense of that Wakanda isn't the main spot that has vibranium. Talokan has it as well. Ramonda reprimands him, stressed of his presence. He lets them know he will kill the researcher who created the machine and that they can help him, however they can't hinder him. Shuri and Okoye go to meet Everett Ross, who gives them the name and area of the youthful researcher, notwithstanding conceivably offering private data. Okoye and Shuri then go to Cambridge, Massachusetts to track down Williams. They follow her to her carport where she uncovers that she is dealing with an Iron Man-type shield. Be that as it may, they are trailed by the FBI. The three move away, Okoye in a vehicle, Shuri in a bike, and Williams in her protection. Out of nowhere, they are met by Talakanals, Atuma and Namora. A short conflict closes in Shuri and Williams getting caught. Ross shows up at the scene the following day and meets with his ex, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. He likewise tracks down Kamoyo Dots and conceals them. In Wakanda, Ramonda condemns Okoye for losing Shuri and fires her from her situation as Broad. Shuri and Williams awaken in Talokan. Namor shows Shuri the human advancement, attempting to persuade her regarding his standards, in any event, giving her his mom's armband. Notwithstanding, she differs in killing Williams. In the interim, Ramonda goes to Haiti to see Nakia, who had left Wakanda 6 years earlier. She requests that Nakia track down Shuri for her. Nakia does a few spying and sorts out the area. She then breaks Williams and Shuri out as Ramonda converses with Namor about his arrangement. They return to Wakanda, however just for additional torture as Namor and his kin attack. They flood the city causing a hard and fast conflict. Namor deals with all of the Wakandan vehicles prior to flooding the royal chamber holding Ramonda and Williams. Williams begins suffocating, so Ramonda swims to save her. She can get Williams to somewhere safe, however just to suffocate simultaneously. Battle the Talakanals on the vessel while the Jabari clan, Nakia, and the others fight the ones on top. Ironheart and the 12 p.m. Heavenly Messengers deal with the airborne Talakanals. Dark Puma warms up the illustrious Claw Warrior, debilitating Namor, yet he starts to break out with his lance. Dark Puma shoots an impact from her vibranium gloves which detonates the entire boat, sending the two enemies into the island underneath. The two battle some more until Namor spears Shuri. Notwithstanding, rather than polishing her off, he is more stressed over getting to the water before he passes on. A harmed Dark Jaguar breaks free and gets before the limping Namor. She then, at that point, hollers Wakanda until the end of time, as she protective layers up, sending an impact from the detonating Claw Warrior into Namor. He is set on fire as he implodes. She remains over him to polish him off, yet recollects her sibling, T'Challa. With these recollections of the man he was, she chooses to save Namor's life the same length as he gets back to Talokan. Namor has appreciation for the Dark Jaguar and joins her as they return to the battle scene and advise everybody to quit battling. Dark Jaguar then, at that point, hollers Wakanda for eternity, by and by as the rest rehash it back. In the outcome, Williams gets back to MIT without her defensive layer as the Wakandans need no debate with letting her keep it. Shuri leaves for Haiti as opposed to trying for the high position, which eventually is tested by M'Baku. Afterward, Namor paints in his room as Atuma welcomes him. Namor guarantees her that their new collusion with Wakanda will be helpful. While heading to jail, Okoye breaks Ross out of guardianship. In Haiti, Shuri meets with Nakia prior to leaving for the ocean side where she consumes her burial service stately robe, permitting her to lament at last. In a mid-credits scene, Shuri discovers that Nakia and T'Challa have a child, Toussaint, who Nakia has been bringing up covertly distant from the strain of the lofty position. Toussaint uncovers his Wakandan name as T'Challa.